2022 Porsche Cayman vs 2022 Lotus Emira, differences and review. In today's video we are going to discuss about the new 2022 Porsche Cayman vs 2022 Lotus Emira, differences and review in depth, from interior to exterior, and every minute detail of every feature. Porsche is a German automobile manufacturer specializing in high-performance sports cars, SUVs and sedans, headquartered in Stuttgart, Baden-Württemberg, Germany. The company is owned by Volkswagen AG. Lotus Cars Limited is a British automotive company headquartered in Norfolk, England. It manufactures sports cars and racing cars noted for their lightweight and fine handling characteristics. We will compare both the cars, so we'll have a look inside both of them. Lotus has a lot of work inside this car, as well as under the skin and outside and everything else. The new Emira, the last petrol-powered car Lotus, will make it has a new chassis. It has a 3.5-liter supercharged V6 in its middle, making 400 horsepower. There is a 6-speed manual with a limited slip differential because it has a driver's pack now. That means it costs nearly £80,000. It jumps to 62 miles an hour in 4.3 seconds, and go on to 180 miles an hour, and the Porsche 718 Cayman gets a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 with all the revs, so it makes 394 horsepower, and through its 6-speed manual gearbox it all matches the Emira. For speed, and also for weight, actually the Porsche is 1405 kilos, the Lotus another 35 kilos on top of that. The Porsche costs 65. These two-seat mid-engine Sportsters are as close a pair of rivals. This is the most powerful Porsche Cayman ever made. It has a 3.8-liter flat 6 engine, 7-speed PDK dual-clutch transmission, and rear axle steering. Interiors. Lotus Emira. Lotus says this is an early pre-production tryout car to overlook some of the interior foibles, like the quality of the leather and the stitching and things like that. The drums are fairly straight, the instruments are digital, and there is a touchscreen. This is one of the things they're still working on, which is brightening some of the fonts, and if you want to change the drive mode, that's on a physical button. Doesn't change the dampers, just changes the powertrain, exhaust and stability system, and then the HVAC controls are physical. There is storage for an entire bottle of water down there, 2 cup holders stuff, there's a boot at the back, and even a big shelf behind the seats. This is a really practical, pleasant, plush interior. Porsche Cayman. The inside of the Cayman, which is very nice, dead straight driving position, with a very round steering wheel and a gear lever in the right place. It's a great place to sort of functional interior. This one's quite austere, it's dark. Generally, it's a really functional, sensible interior that would be good to drive from. There's a little boot in the front, there's one at the back, and there's space above the engine bay. The Lotus has got that sort of shelf behind the seats, which you could probably get a set of golf clubs. How does the cars drive? Lotus Emira. The Emira on the move is a pull-it-through into sport, and you get a little bit more waffle. You might hear from the exhaust. You can see the wing tops that give you an idea of how to place the car so it doesn't feel over wide. It's very easy to place. It's still got hydraulically assisted power steering, which is sort of weighty by modern standards, especially around parking speeds, sort of 2.8 turns, lots of lock. It's much better on track, and then you can also get Michelin Pilot Sport Cut tires on that as well, which help get the best out of that chassis Lotus. The steering is really nice. It's got a sort of calmness around straight ahead, and just as you turn, it picks stuff up. It doesn't kick back too much. This car changes direction and flows very nicely. There's just a really pleasant Lotus feel to it. It's just a very capable, engaging, rewarding sports car with a powerful engine. Porsche Cayman. The Cayman, which straight away feels a quieter car, and overall drive position is great. Steering wheel is round, gearshift is lighter and comes through and just falls into gear with less friction and more ease, and the pedals are nicely set up. They got a really nice firm brake pedal toggle for heel and towing. Engine sounds really nice. Engine in the Lotus sounds really nice as well. You get more induction noise in this. There are a few similarities in both these cars. The Porsche Cayman and Lotus Emira are both sports cars that are available in a variety of models. They both have a mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, and a front-engine, rear-wheel drive. They are both 4-seat cars. They are both built on the same platform, and they are both made in Germany. They are also both mid-engine, rear-wheel drive sports cars that have a front-engine, rear-wheel drive. The difference: you probably get more exhaust noise in the Lotus. Like the Lotus, the steering is uncorrupted, it is electrically assisted rather than being purely hydraulic. It's a little bit lighter and it's very free of any kickback at all. There's sort of raised wheel arches which you can just sort of use to place the car. It has got a really nice delicate floater. It may not be quite as supple at just the top of the travel, as the Lotus has a little bit more suppleness in its wheel travel. The Lotus is a bit more because it's a bigger and blown unit. The steering is less corrupted in here, but you get a bit more back in terms of road feel from the hydraulic system and the Lotus. Both of them turn really nicely with a real ease and mid-engine precision. In summary, they're both really good at pretty much everything, and what they do is they balance aspects against each other. Consider a high-performing, fast, and comfortable sports car for your drive. The 2022 Porsche Cayman aims to fulfill these tasks perfectly with its 4-cylinder fuel efficiency and low-emissions design. Meanwhile, the Lotus Emira is powered by a V6 engine with strict qualification as to how many kilometers are driven to be classified as good. When it comes to the steering, you can play bits off against each other. The Lotus probably has a bit more road feel, but it also gets a little bit more corruption. This has a really nice easy take-up off of straight head, which you might prefer to the slightly weightier sort of hydraulic system in the Lotus. It swings around about all the way through. Overall, I would prefer to spend more time in Porsche car, but there are roads when you'd have the Emira, and it's just a tough one to call the fact that Lotus makes a car that is as habitable broad between the passengers and is as easy to get into and as is ergonomically sensibly laid out as the Emira is, and even if it can't quite compete in all areas with a Cayman, you look at a Lotus, you could finally buy it as a good everyday sports car. The Cayman has a sleeker design and standard all-wheel drive. The Cayman is also cheaper. The Porsche Cayman is a 2-door, 2-seat sports car that's available in coupe and convertible variants. The Cayman is Porsche's entry-level sports car. Below the 911. There are a lot of sports cars out there. But when you're looking for a new car, you're going to want one that stands out. That's what our 2020 Porsche Cayman did. While the Cayman and Emira are both great cars, the Cayman is a little more cost-effective and practical for most people. The Emira is much more expensive and has a lot of features that you may not need. However, if you have the money to afford the Emira, it is indeed a great car. The Cayman is a little less expensive. If you are interested in the Emira, you should be prepared to spend a lot more. And this was all about the 2022 Porsche Cayman versus 2022 Lotus Emira. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to latest luxury cars channel and do press the bell icon for more exciting videos like this.